Thanks, Greg. Time I unplug and plug my mic in mute itself. I forget about that. Hey, Laura, thanks for coming in. We'll just start over real quick. Greg's good to see you. Bizzle, see you were the first one in the chat. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. I got some cool, exciting little news to share with you guys, which is going to prompt my next video. Hey, LH, good to see you. Does everything sound okay? I have some background music playing. I don't know if you can hear it. Is it annoying? Do we need to shut that off? Hey, Tommy, thanks for making it. Davy's good. Thank you, sir. Loud and clear. Detective Lopez, appreciate you. Hey, Paul. How'd you sneak in here without me seeing? Too much? Okay. I usually don't do the dang music. There, I turned that off. So I got my parrotfish yesterday. Their head posture is amazing. Yeah, I love the parrots, man. It's a fish that gets some controversy in the hobby, but in my experience with the two I've had, they got great personalities. They're super colorful. I'll stick my hand in my tank sometimes, and they have enough attitude to where if I got my hand in there and they don't want me in there, they'll come up and just hit me. And of course, they can't hurt you at all. And it just feels like stiff rubber hitting you. And they just, get out of it. They got attitude. They don't put up with crap, man. Apparently, you can breed them with a convict cichlid. Okay. The only thing I feel bad about with the blood parrots is their shaped mouths. I have two of them. One has a little bit harder time of eating than the other, but I do make sure he does eat. I have to put in the larger flakes, and when you put them in the water, you have to like grab a pinch and stick it down in the water and swish it around, and they can go right up to those flakes and get them in their mouths pretty decently easy. Do you have a dehumidifier in the fish room? I've been getting condensation. Detective Lopez, I do not. However, in my situation, I don't have a basement. I do miss having a basement because that's where my fish room would be if I had a basement. One, for obvious reasons, if you have a leak, you're down in the basement, big whoop. Mine is in my house. This is my dining room. It's a very large dining room, but it's open. It's got a big open doorway to the rest of the house, so I don't have any condensation issues building up. I will say this. At one point, I was storing some crushed coral in some old Extreme Aquatics food containers, and I was put them on the back of that 125 community tank back there where the parrots are. And over time, and I didn't think about this, condensation was building up in those bottles of crushed coral because of the warmth from the water and everything, and the minor humidity that does come out of the back where the glass top doesn't cover that gap at the back, because that's where they were sitting on the back of the tank. And I started getting like mold in there, so I just took them and threw them out. So a little word of caution, don't store anything like that in the back of your your aquariums. It will create mold from moisture. But there's a lot of good reasons to run a dehumidifier. Obviously, you're sucking water out of the air, right? And you're getting not free water because you're paying to run that humidifier. But when you get that tank of water, I had a buddy of mine. He used to mix fertilizer, like soil and stuff with it. He'd make because humidifier water is basically distilled water. It has no nutrients. There's nothing in it. So he would take that water, mix some fertilizers with it and stuff, and use that to water his plants. I get condensation a lot too, but I'm in Texas. It's always humid here, so that doesn't help. I definitely found mold from the tanks, which is why I'm moving mine back outside. See, and I got mine. as far as I can get my tanks to the wall as possible while still being able to work in them, or maybe you want to put a hang on the back, you need a little bit of space there, especially if you have the AC 110s. They're wide. You have to really pull that tank like 4.5 inches or so away from the wall for that to fit on there. Plus, I don't like them smack dab against the wall. You can run into problems like Tommy's talking about where condensation and moisture build up. Keeping in mind, too, maybe you have potho plants sticking out. Those potho plant leaves seep a little bit of water out of their leaves, which in turn can create mold as well. What is the benefit of adding salt to the aquarium? Salt has tons of benefits, and your different salts that we use in the aquarium hobby do different things. They all generally do the same thing, but I love aquarium salt. So you go to the store, you get the API aquarium salt, and you want to put that in 1 tablespoon for 5 gallons of water, which is going to be your average, dosage for that. What that's going to do is it's going to add electrolytes to the water, which is fantastic for the fish. It helps their osmosis. It helps fight disease. It's a great natural way to keep disease at bay. I actually did a video on this discussing everything. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the main thing of the aquarium salt is just what I discussed. It helps reduce stress in fish. It helps them breathe better. It helps add a slime coat back on them. That's how it helps reduce stress. Osmosis and fighting disease is the main things about it. Now, if you're talking about Epsom salt is not something you're going to want to put in the aquarium. I use Epsom salt as a natural fix for a lot of diseases. I successfully cured bloat and dropsy in my fancy goldfish several times. A couple of my tiger barbs, I cured dropsy with using Epsom salt. It's a great bath for curing diseases and things like that, as well as reducing stress as well. Epsom salt is my go-to. Unless I have a whole tank full of fish with an issue, I'll start with my aquarium salt before I jump to the meds. Unless it's a pretty advanced problem, then I'll go right to the medication. But what's nice about aquarium salt is you can use it in correlation with your meds. It actually helps the meds work better. And then, of course, when you're jumping down to your like cichlid lake salts and things like that, that's primarily more geared towards your African cichlids, which I do use in my 75-gallon Abuna tank, which adds minerals and replicates that salty environment for them. And I've been doing that since they've been in there, and I don't ever have problems with my Abunas. So lots of reasons to use salt. The only downside of using your aquarium salt, you have to watch. It's going to be hard on your plants. Plants do not take it well. Now, I will say I've been using it in my tanks that have lots of plants, and I really don't have an issue with it destroying plants. But I keep your more common jungle vows, Amazon swords, Anubiases. I do have potho plants on the top of all my tanks. And I've really had the salt cause an issue with them. But I would imagine certain plants are going to be more sensitive. Silver Creek Aquatics can tell you all about plants way more than me. But yeah, salt, always have it. I bought a 20-liter Mako. What does that mean, Detective Lopez? What is a 20-liter Mako? Is it some kind of an aquarium? Salts and mineralizer. They also soothe the skin. You got it, Tommy. And it's a natural way. And I know Tommy's all going to be about salt over meds all day long. Hey, Gabriel, thanks for coming in, buddy. Also good for some plant root systems. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm doing good, Gabriel. How are you, buddy? Tonic salt. What is a tonic salt? Garcia's in. Hey, buddy. Dehumidifier. Right. Yeah, you're right. I always do that. Morning. Hey, Berto. We get jumped up. So I do have something cool to share with you guys. I said in the beginning of the chat, and I want to do that now. I've got 15 people in here. So I want to let you guys know that I had contacted Boyd Enterprises. If you're not familiar who Boyd is, they're the makers of Chemipure and Vitachem. I contacted them like well before Christmas, and he was all about sending me some products to try out because I told him, hey, look, I've tried Seachem Purigen. I've used Purigen in double and triple the doses, and I did not see a decrease in nitrates. The water quality was clear, but my tanks are mostly clear anyway, so I didn't see a real difference in the water quality with Seachem Purigen. I was having this conversation with him, and I said, hey, I'd love the opportunity to try out your chemical filtration and give it a go if you're willing. And he was all for it. And he just recently, he got back to me yesterday and said it took him a while to get it approved, but it's approved. And he said he put it in the mail, and it actually arrived yesterday. And he sent me a lot of stuff. I don't know if you can see it up there in the back of my 125 Goldfish tank, but I'm going to bring them over and show you what I got. And I've already started the process of reviewing and experimenting with it. Atkins been awake since 3 a.m. You are dedicated, sir. You are a trooper. 3 a.m. God, I was sleeping. Hey, Nano, thanks for coming in. Garcia, 13 watching. Yes, hit that like button. Let's get this stuff out here, guys. Finally over that 1K. I guess, I don't know. Is this my first stream since I hit 1K? Now I'm up to 1,023. Super excited about that. All I have to do is hit that 4K watch hours, which is another point of doing 2 streams in a week. And I can get monetized in, well, you can get monetized at 3K, but to me, if you ain't first, you're last. So I go for the gusto. I want to hit that 4K so I can get ads and all that stuff. Maybe I can start getting vendors to sending me without me contacting them and get some nice stuff, which is going to benefit you guys because as the ticker says rolling across, the bigger the channel gets, the better the giveaways and gifts. I like to give away expensive stuff, FX4s, FX6s, if Fluval ever contacts me. Hey, Species, thanks for coming in. The Purigen worked well on my nano tank. Okay, cool. And, you know, a while back I did do a comparison video, carbon versus Purigen. You can check that video out on my channel and give me your thoughts on that. I put those two to the test. Carbon is going to be your old school go-to. It works. It's tried and true. You can get it anywhere. But in the long run, really, carbon is not cheaper than Purigen because Purigen lasts much longer. Carbon gets exhausted quickly, and Purigen does a little bit more than carbon. But to me, that's to be proved because I've been using Purigen for a long while, on and off over the years, doubled, tripled in these larger tanks, and I really didn't see a big difference. Slacker's missing that like button. Hey, Local Austin, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hello, Gabriel. Let's see here. Oh, what happened? Well, I was sleeping too. Then work called. Ew. LH second. Hey, yo, Mike. Boom. Boom. Stream. JA's in. Well, good morning, Tommy. Good morning. Everyone's saying hello. I love it. Hey, here's a guy. I went to high school with Dan here. He's coming over from Facebook. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and checking me out, buddy. I know you did keep fish. Glad to see you're doing well. What's the size of your cichlid tank and how many are in there? Do you overcrowd to tame their aggression nature? Dan, a lot of my fish are cichlids. I'm assuming you're talking about the 75-gallon Mbuna tank that I have. I started with 10. They reproduce quickly. I've got a ton in there now. A ton. I don't even know. I've lost count. But I do find that in my tank, I rarely have aggression with my Mbunas. Now, I'm not going to say I don't ever because I do. They're Mbunas. They do chase each other a lot. But I have a lot of sight breaks. I got it packed full of Texas Holy Rock. So they have a lot of places to hide, a lot of places to claim. It's breaking up that line of sight, which is another trick to reducing aggression. And yes, overcrowding does help for sure because you got distractions, right? Not any one fish can get picked on for too long. And I've seen it. They'll run around after each other and, oh, what are you doing? And they go after that. So I do overcrowd. I do break the line of sight. Powerhead is another tool to help reduce aggression because it creates flow in the tank, which creates distraction. And a lot of them like to have fun in that flow. So that is another way to reduce aggression. And feeding a high quality food, being careful not to overfeed. I feed every 2 days. So I make sure their bellies are good. They're feeling good. I use Cichlid Lake Salt as well. I use Void Vitachem for the multivitamins. And I have yet, knock on wood, to have any problems with my Mbunas. No diseases, no bloat, no nothing. And they get along pretty good, and they're pounding babies out. Happy, colorful, healthy. I love all this activity. I like not being able to keep up with the comments. Michael Welsh made it in. Hello. Let me see. I'm very brokenhearted yesterday evening. My mom passed away in her sleep. Species, that's terrible to hear. That's absolutely terrible to hear. My heart goes out to you. That is terrible to hear. Did she have medical issues, or was she just up there in age? I use Purigen in all my tanks. Okay. And so you like it then, obviously, or you wouldn't do it. But that brings me to my other subject. And, if the review goes well on Chemipure, because this is my first time using Chemipure, if I like it and it goes well and I get monetized, if Boyd Enterprises is more than welcome to become a partner with me and supply that, I'll definitely keep using it. After I've used what they've given me, if I do see good results in my Mbuna tank, because the Chemipure Blue is going to be specific to your higher pH tanks and your African cichlids, and it is more geared to your marine tanks. But I can use it for my African cichlid tank. Maybe I'll keep purchasing that. But to try to buy chemical media to run all these tanks, you'd go broke. I can't do it. So unless they're willing to fund the products, it just won't happen on all these tanks. Hope you're doing well, Melvin. I heard what happened. Sending you all the love, the support from us. That's nice, Atkins. Yes, absolutely. That's terrible to hear. Terrible to hear. Gabriel with condolences. Getting a lot of love. Getting a lot of loves. Species. Wow, Eduardo's in here. I don't. Busy guy. I think this is the second stream he's ever been in. Good to see you. Good morning. Hugs and kisses. Do you have Shelleys besides cichlids? I do not keep Shelleys, Eduardo. I never have. If I was going to keep Shelleys, I do like prime time setup with that 55-gallon low boy and getting the shells and putting them in there. I know you can get a decent price on those Shelleys on Amazon, but I think guys like Tommy would say, oh, man, you can get free shells somewhere. I don't have any experience with Shelleys. Boots Cats is in. Laura, sorry to hear about that species. Eduardo. Laura. The aggression of mine went down significantly after overcrowding. Absolutely, Dan. It's definitely one of the number one tricks, too. Ben Ochart did a video on that, and he was kind of debunking that theory about overcrowding because it never really worked for him. But with our aquariums, every aquarium is different. They're going to be different to everyone's situation. Your water's different, your environment different, your fish personalities are different. So what may work for you might not work for him. But I have the largest cichlids I keep is the South American Oscars over there, and the two of them grew up together. The one has still got attitude and picks on the other one all the time, but they get along good. It's mostly play and hey, get out of the way type of thing. He's always crabby, the bigger one. Yeah, I've got videos out on how to reduce aggression. One of the biggest tips I can give you for reducing aggression, and I did a short on this, is you want to ball your fist up like this right here. It's called the angry fist. You want to put it right up at the glass and look that fish right in the eye and just go like this. Works every time. Thanks, Gabriel. We appreciate it a lot. Cancel today's live stream show because I'm not up to it. Yeah, Species, I'm surprised to see you in here, man, in a situation like that. I certainly appreciate seeing you. Don't get me wrong, but that's terrible to hear. Excuse me, I got a cough coming. On a quick dirted sand cap natural tank update down here. These plants are busting out at the seam, man. They're starting to come out of the top. There ain't no more room for that Amazon sword to grow in there. An organic soil does the trick. What do you feed with the Mbuna fry? I can show you. So, a little while back, Northwind Foods sent me pretty much their entire line of food to review, and I did a review on it. And one of them foods was their fry starter. And I had already had the Aquarium Co-op's Easy Fry food, and what I did is I mixed them together and put them in one container. You see here? And this stuff is basically a powder. I'm sure everyone here is aware. It smells pretty good. That is basically a powder, very fine, small food for fry. And that's what I use. I mix it together, and I've had to use this a lot in my 75-gallon Mbuna tank because they, just like I said, keep busting out babies. So that's what I use. Aquarium Co-op Easy Fry and Northfind's Fry Starter food. I am just super occupado. Yeah, I know you're a busy guy. I haven't seen you. I don't think I remember seeing you in Depths streams for a little bit. My go-to food, I'm conflicted with that question, Michael Welsh. My two favorite foods are Extreme Aquatics and Northwind Foods. Now, for the longest time, Extreme was my number one. But after doing that review with Northwind Foods and talking with them, they one, subbed to my channel. Two, they were willing to send that food to me as a small channel, which is a winner to a company for me right off. And then afterwards, even when I was commenting on other people's, because Patty's Aquatics got the Northwind food line, Mike Loves Life Aquatics got the Northwind food line. And when they made their videos, every time I commented on something about the food, Northwind Foods were right there to correct me on what I was wrong with. Not only that, they went above and beyond and broke it down for me, the science of it. Like, for example, I said, yeah, you still got to be careful. You know, Northwind Foods does have high protein percentage in their food, and they do. You're talking anywhere from 40%, high, low 40s, high 30s, low 40s. It's a lot of protein. I said, you need to be very careful how much you feed that food to your fish, because you can, especially with your Mbunas, like your Malawi cichlids, prone to bloat. So too much protein will definitely cause that. Right away, Northwind Foods was in there, and they said, with Northwind Foods, you get the highest protein available in the market. These are marine proteins in these foods. These kind of proteins are healthy and do not cause bloat. The kind of high proteins that you're talking about that cause bloat are your more subpar proteins. They're not of the marine variety. So not only did they send me this stuff, they break foods down, and they taught me. And since then, I have learned so much more things about fish food, and I credit Northwind Foods on that. So as the time goes on, I feel like I'm leaning more towards Northwind Foods because they're both high quality. But I love Northwind's business mentality. I tried to contact Extreme. They won't even think about me, much less even answer or reply to a comment. I mean, to me, that speaks volumes. I would much rather support a company that is willing to talk to you, send you some of their product, teach you about their product, and make you a more well-rounded fish keeper. Where Extreme Aquatics, they don't even want to freaking talk to you. So I'm starting to lean more towards Northwind Foods. And I love their veggie formulas. I mix their veggie formula pellets with the New Life Spectrum Algae Max pellets. I mix those together, and that's my veggies for my Mbunas, because, your Mbunas are herbivores. But I can feed them. Like, I have this other mix here. I call it my Northwind mix. Well, it's more than Northwind now. I've mixed Extreme Nice, Extreme Cichlid Peewee, and then it's got the Northfin Krill Pro and Bug Pro, and the Northfin Cichlid pellets are in here, and it's all in one brew. And I even throw this in for my Mbunas, and they love it. And I have not had any issues with bloat. But I do make sure they get the veggie mix I put together as well, which is the Northfin Veggie and the New Life Spectrum Algae Max. I feed this to all my fish. Very good mix for goldfish, because your goldfish need their vegetables to help reduce that bloat. If you, I mean, you can feed them vegetables you get if you want, but let's just find this easier. Get up, caught up on chat here. I love all the talking. I love all the questions. Alive Wonder does a large mystery snail shells would work for them. All the different colors. Alive Wondered. How do you Alive Wondered is a large mystery snail shell. There you go. Where can you find those at, Tommy? Saying that Richard Reynolds has tons. I'm about to get some. Oh, very cool. What kind of tank are you going to put them in, Eduardo? Nano. She had a respiratory problem. She was bedridden because back in 2021 she had a fluid on her body, leg, and feet, and she was leaning to walk. And again, she had a touch of dementia. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry to hear, man. But you know what? And I'm sure you probably heard this enough, and you don't need to hear it from me. She's not suffering anymore. And from what I understand, buddy, she's up in paradise now, looking down on you, and she's always going to be with you. But don't feel bad, because you will meet again. She's enjoying herself up in paradise where there is no pain, and you feel loved all the time, and you just feel 100% better. So don't feel bad. Don't be sad. She's still with you. One day you'll meet her again. It's us down here still fighting in hell. She's up in paradise. Oh, not alive. Okay. Do you have any peacocks with red eyes? No, sir. I don't have any peacocks. The only African cichlids that I have is the Mbunas. I have not tapped into your peacocks or haps or anything like that yet. Ben Ochart is a guy you might want to watch, Dan. He's another one of my favorite live streamers. That's what he keeps. He keeps all kinds of those cichlids. He's got sand divers, OBs. Check out Ben Ochart if you never heard of him. He goes live every Saturday morning for a Cichlids and Coffee live stream. Definitely want to check him out if you're interested. He's got peacocks. The only cichlid I do have with red eyes is the South American angelfish. It's the Ascaras. They're black with red eyes. Hey, Bunny, thanks for coming in. I got to cut up in chat. Let's see, Bunny Viper. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that first trick. Talking about this, Paul. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys who watched my Thursday Serenity live stream, what did you think about that? Where I just have some relaxing background music, and I'm going to pick a tank every third week. Do we scrap that? Did we like it? Or should I just do 2 streams like this? Let me know. BC. Wet socks. Extreme Northfin, same. A lot of people use it. There's some other ones coming out now. I know Garcia, he's into that. I can't remember, it's fresh or some kind of high quality food he's been using. I hear good things about that. They're coming out with different ones all the time. Northfin has been around a long time, so is Extreme. Extreme just recently, not long ago, over the last few years, just started selling theirs to the public. Corey at Aquarium Co-op got them to start selling it. I don't know. I like them both, and it's good to vary their diets anyway, so why not just use them both? I like omega-1 foods. They're not on that level, but I do like omega-1 foods. Flukers, like I said, that we've discussed before, makes their own line of foods now, which is another high-quality food. It's more granule. Oh, by the way, I asked the guy over at Flukers, because if you look at the back of their goldfish and their tropical ingredients, they're exactly 100% the same. So I said, what's the difference? So if goldfish is the same as tropical, why can't you just feed the foods to all of them? And the only difference, and his reply is the size of the granule. Of course, your goldfish granules are going to be larger than your tropical granules. But I just, after he told me that, I just went ahead and mixed them together in one container because I'm all about, excuse me, efficiency. I don't want to have to crack open 2 containers and go around and feed my tanks. If I can put them in one, go around, done. Excuse my coughing. Thank you so very much. My photographer and dear friend, I appreciate the support and console. Absolutely, Species. I appreciate you being here. And again, my heart goes out to you. Hey, Allison. Eduardo, Allison, yes. Species. I love Northfin Foods. Lots of support for you, buddy. What is the easiest way to get free food samples from manufacturers? Gabriel, I'll tell you what I did. I contacted probably 30 companies. 4 of those 30s were willing to send me food. Don't worry about samples. My suggestion to you is contact Northfin Foods. You're going to talk to a guy named Darius. Ask him, speak professional, speak correct. Like, I'm very good at talking to people. I developed that skill over the years of working for the company I do. I deal with a lot of customers. You got to learn how to talk with them. You got to be confident in the way you speak, use the right words. I'm not saying that's what's going to win you over, but it helps. Northfin Foods, Cobalt. As far as foods go, Northfin, Flukers, and Cobalt, if I remember right, were the only ones that sent me some food to review. API sent me stuff, but they just did that out of the goodness of their heart because they didn't want to do anything. They just said, but hey, here's some free stuff. So I got some stuff that way. Corey at Aquarium Co-op won't even think about you. Omega One Foods won't get back to you. Tetra won't get back to you. None of these people will get back to you. They don't even think about you. And I find it funny that Northfin Foods will send you almost their entire line to small channels because they care about everybody's opinion, not just the big channels. So I love companies like that. Cobalt Foods, also a shout out to them. They got some decent quality foods as well. They were actually the first ones to start putting probiotics in their foods, if you didn't know that. I learned that from talking with them and doing a review on their food. So just email these companies, man. I just got in bed one night and I got on my phone, and after you type the same thing in enough, it auto populates. So you get to that contact section at these companies, and once you type out how you want to say something and your phone remembers it, you can just go boom, 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 and you can send it out to like 30 different companies. And that's how I did it, man. I got Northfin, like I said, Cobalt. I feel like Fluker sent me some of their food. And you just ask. The worst they're going to say is no. Hey, I'd like to review some of your food. I would love the opportunity to review and give you promote your food on my YouTube channel. I also throw in, I'm also on TikTok. You can expect a professional review from me. I even threw things in like recently, Cobalt Foods sent me some of their products to review because they understand that I can help them reach an audience that may not know about your products. Because at my level, at a smaller channel, there's people down here that may not know about your products. So if you consider me, I would love the opportunity to try it. You get the idea. Just contact them. That's all you can do. But I can guarantee you that Omega One, Tetra, they'll 100% ignore you. I even sent stuff out to Fluval as a shot in the dark. And although they did not, they even say right now, they get these kinds of emails all the time. They get them all the time. And they're not looking for anybody to do it right now. And they are more focused on your larger channels. It's Fluval. They don't need my help. But to me, that's what separates some of these other people apart, like Northfin Foods and Cobalt, because they got a good name. They've been around, but they were still willing to send me their products and throw a smaller channel a bone, right? But I get it. You're talking about FX2s, FX4s, FX6s. These are high dollar filters. Even they're hanging the backs. The AC110 at PetSmart's $100. I get not wanting to throw their items to me, but why couldn't they have sent me some of their foods? Doesn't have to be a filter. They're going to ignore you, buddy. If they get back to you, let me know. But try it, man. That's all I do. I just contact them and try. It's interesting that you only feed your cichlid once every 2 days. Is there a reason why bloating? Yeah, Dan. And this goes for any fish, man. I don't feed these tanks, but every 2 days. Some people only feed their fish three times in a week. And the reason behind that is disease, not only bloat in some fish, but you don't want to overfeed your fish. That is a number one cause of not only fouling your aquarium water and messing your tank up, it also messes your fish up. Think about it. When fish are out in the wild, do you really think they're getting a good meal every day? And 9 times out of 10, it's insects at the surface of the water. They don't eat other fish. They will. They do, but their biggest diet is insects at the surface of the water. And they don't get a meal every day out in the wild. They're scavenging, they're looking, they're finding. They, not every day, just like a lion out in the safari. He's not guaranteed a meal every day. It's good to not overfeed your fish. Feed every other day because it gives the digestive system a chance to clean out, which is going to be fantastic for them. So you don't promote disease. If you overfeed your fish, it's a recipe for disaster. You can feed every day if you want to, as long as it's a good quality food and you don't feed too much. You're more willing to, anybody can do what they want. There's lots of us that feed our fish every day. I just do it every 2 days. There's nothing wrong with it. Just make sure you don't overfeed. And the most important thing is to vary the diet. You got to vary the diet. If you feed the same food all the time, any one food maker doesn't have it 100% right. You need to vary the diet so they get different nutrition. Northfin Food does claim that, you've heard what I just said. They claim that is their food in one package. They get everything they need in one food, which I get. But I still don't believe that you should not vary the diet because the other food might have something better for the fish that this one, but they don't have it 100% correct. So every 2 days, vary the diet. Never going to have a problem. Hey, Vibes, thanks for coming in, buddy. Laser. Whoops. Appreciate you listening, Laser, while you drive. Price tags in there. Let's see what it says. I like the idea of the Salient live stream chat. It's just harder for me to join due to around dinner time. Yeah, price tag. That's why I have it at 6, man, because my home time, when I arrive home, it's never guaranteed what time that'll be. We eat at 5 o'clock around here, so usually 6 o'clock's a good time. That's why I do that. I got my vow 2 days ago. Thank you so much. You were very so. NLA sent Bunny some jungle vow. Very cool. Thanks so very much for saying that. You're totally right. She is in paradise, and one day you got it, species. Northfin sent me some of different species when I told them what I had. Yeah, Northfin's great. They're a great company to work for. They're down to earth. They're not snobs. They don't have their nose up in the air. Extreme Foods they will only sell their and give their food away to like wholesalers. Like, so your aquarium co-ops, your KG Tropicals, anyone that has a store online, that's who they sell to. And that's what they want to do. That's fine. But I don't know. I'm more about helping people. If you've got the money and you're doing well, why can't you throw some people a bone and get some other opinions out there? Is it really going to break their bank to send a few or 2 different portions of your food to somebody to try out? Really, is it? Every 2 days for species. I wrote a very simple letter. So you ever offer samples to your everyday? What's this? I wrote a very simple letter. So you ever offer samples to your everyday fish keeper? I got you, Bunny. So yours was short and sweet. Dan says I feed my Oscars tank and you're 100% correct on that, Dan. Oscars don't need to eat that much. They just don't. So you every 3 to 4 days. You're good on that. I probably overfeed my Oscars because I feed them every 2 days. Omega One was taken over by Spectrum Brands. They also distribute Tetra, Instant Ocean, and Marineland. They send products when I solicit for my club auctions. Okay, so I know Omega One is out of, I think it's Alaska. And you say they were taken over by the Spectrum Brands. Okay, they also distribute Tetra Foods, Instant Ocean, and Marineland. So all these foods are kind of one now, Allison. Huh? Okay. So maybe I even tried messaging them on their Facebook thing, and none of them got back to me because I've always been a fan of Omega One Foods. They do have some decent quality ingredients in there. Like I said, they're not on that level as Northfin and Extreme and some of these other. But as far as your mid-grade foods, Omega One is a decent food. In the past, I used to feed my fish 3 times a day, like it says in the product. Yeah, they want you to do that, species, because they want you to run out faster so you can go buy more. You don't have to feed your fish that much. But I know that you reduced that down to every other day. I keep the following species I would love to try. Any animals you may like to send, that's gonna. I keep the following species I would love to try animals. That's cool, Bunny. Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. Gabriel, if you message me on Facebook, I can send you Darius's email contact. I feel weird asking for free stuff. My opinion, it's not worth buying. It's not for me. I got you asking, absolutely, and that's what I love about talking with you guys on here. You get a lot of different opinions and stuff like that. Where me, I'm not afraid to ask for free stuff, and it has nothing to do with anything other than I want to try these things out. Look at it like this. If you could go to the grocery store and you're interested in buying something, but you're not sure if you're going to like it, but the damn thing costs $20. Excuse my language. Wouldn't you rather get a free sample of it before you go and drop $20 on it? If the company's willing to do that for me, I'm going to jump on it all day long, because I think these companies understand that too. And if they realize that I like it and I'm impressed with it, I will go forward and using ChemiPure in some of my tanks. I can't afford to do them all, but I'll definitely keep it going in that African cichlid tank. Okay, Bunny, they most sell bulk. Well, yeah, but too, Bunny, they also put their products in stores too, and that's not bulk. They probably sell bulk to them, and then it gets distributed. I get you. Makes sense. I solicited through Spectrum, not through the individual companies. Omega One did not send products when they were standalone. Okay. So how does that work then, Allison? So if I contacted New Life Spectrum, because that is another food I like, do they sell Omega One separately from all the other ones you said and then their own? So is New Life Spectrum who I need to contact? Because I did contact them. They didn't get back to me. May as well ask for things. Worst thing I can do is say no. Exactly, Nano. All right. I'm just trying to get to the point where I get big enough. I can get vendors sending me stuff to review. And I want to get big enough to where I can start doing nicer giveaways, like I said. Now, see, Atkins, I have. My Oscars do not like Extreme Monster. They spit it out. But if I chop it up in a coffee grinder, they're okay with it that way. That 9mm pellet isn't big enough, wasn't too big for their mouths. They just didn't like the taste of it. And June told me the same thing with her Oscars. Her Oscars don't like the Extreme Monster. They are not a fan of some of Northfin's foods. My Oscars. And there's something my goldfish will spit out, which is amazing. I can't remember what it is. Hey, this is my wife, guys. Thanks for coming in, babe. I cannot find a true slowly sinking pellet. Bunny, if you're talking about, do you have goldfish, Bunny? If you want a true slowly sinking pellet for your goldfish, Extreme makes a goldfish pellet where they do that. When you're talking about feeding goldfish, you definitely don't want to feed flakes unless you're going to dunk them flakes in the water and make sure they're under the surface, because you don't want the goldfish going to the surface and gulping all that air. You're asking for bloat. You want sinking food for them. And that goldfish pellet is a slow sinking pellet. 3 or 4 stay in the top. The other one float around the tank. And they even say that in the bottle. And it does work like it says. Vibra-Bites, I've used those. My fish do like them. I got a little pack in here that Vibe sent me, the little version of them. That I won on one of his streams, and then I've had purchased them in the past. It's a good food. It's a good food. It's definitely I use them as a treat. It's not something that's like a staple food, but I like Vibra-Bites. I got free samples from Extreme when I went to the Aqua Show in Chicago. Cool, Michael. See, that's something I could benefit from. I've never been to one of these events. I thought about when they come back around to Charlotte, going to that one again. Maybe I can meet Wizzle up there sometime. I thought about doing that one. That's not far from me. I'd like to go into one of them. Yeah, and I wasn't saying Extreme sucks or like slandering their characters. I know nothing about their characters. I've never talked to them. I've watched their videos. I use their food. I love their food. It's high quality for sure. But I don't know. I'm not expecting free things from companies. I've been working since I've been 15 years old. I've always worked for what I want, what I have. But if somebody on a YouTube channel and if they check your channel out and they can see you're passionate about it and you're putting videos out every day and you're not a complete putting out misinformation, I say, hey, let's throw them a couple samples of food. Let's throw them a bone here. Vibra-Bites are good. My pea puffers ate them. Pea puffers. Gabriel got a big puffer. I think Gabriel has a Mabu puffer. And I'm trying to get my peas to eat them. Oh, I had bloat and I asked Father Fish, what would you do to help fix bloat in goldfish? He says, feed them raw garlic. So I went to the store, I got raw garlic. I stripped it. I cut them in little pieces and I smushed them up and I put them in there. They hate garlic. They wouldn't eat it. And then that sucked because the aquarium smelled like garlic for weeks, month at a time. The whole house smelled like garlic. I ain't doing that again. I just scooped them out and give them 30-minute Epsom salt baths and maybe throw some peas in every once in a while. New Life Spectrum is not Spectrum. Oh, okay. They are a large owner of these other companies. Extreme led me to think they would send stuff, but ultimately blew me off. I got you, Allison. Okay, I was confused there. Thanks for clearing that up. Okay. Spectrum Brand Foods is just a big company that owns all these foods. New Life Spectrum is different. Okay. Yeah, I soak all foods. I feed gold. Soaking foods is another fantastic way. No goldfish at the moment. Okay. It takes time. I try some bloodworms, watch them eat a little, and then Vibra, and they'll take eventually. Okay. So thanks for sharing that experience, Atkins. I do get the omega-1 bloodworms and the omega-1 freeze-dried shrimp. My Oscars love that freeze-dried shrimp. Love it. So is the Jack Dempsey. The main food that I feed my cichlids is Extreme and Northfin. That's what they get, and I mix them together like I showed earlier. I use the Extreme Big Fella for the Jack Dempsey and the Oscars, and they also get omega-1 shrimp. Those are my main foods. Eels are cool. I'd love to have one. I just don't have it like I like eels. I think they're cool, but I've never owned one. I have known nothing about eels. There's one fish I wanted to get was a rope fish too. I'd like to have one of them. I'm talking about longfish. I soak foods for my big cichlids and salty fish. I soak foods. What do you soak them in, Atkins? Just you talking about soak them in water a little bit, soften them up, or do you put like I know there's different foods that you can soak in different things. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can soak food in Vitachem too. Fire eel, yeah, those are cool, man. Never had one. Me, I like them. I'm not picky when it comes to fish. I got a golden dojo loach over here that some people can't stand. My wife and my daughter can't stand looking at it. I think it reminds them of a snake. I like him. You talk about some crazy antics. I got videos out on him. You use Vitachem on fresh. Me too, buddy. Once a week I go around. I like to anything I do to help my fish live longer and happy life. Like I'm trying out this Chemipure and I using Vitachem. I'm gonna do it. I'm nearly at 700. Could you give me a shout out, bro? Absolutely. If no one's subscribed to LH Aquatics, he's almost 700 subscribers. If we can help him, subscribe to his channel. Let me see. Shoot, I didn't bring my other device in, or I'd put your. Is there a mod in here that can put his link up to his channel? And let's give LH a sub if you haven't already. Okay, so some vitamins with a little. So what are you talking about? The Vitachem Atkins? You soak it in Vitachem? Here we go. Vitachem is my go-to fresh. Soaking for salt. Vitachem is my go-to for fresh. So, what do you mean soaking? Soaking for salt. What do you mean by that, Atkins? Most welcome, LH. Salt water. I'm reading up on soaking coral foods with different bacteria strains to feed corals. It's mad. That's on you, buddy. I don't have saltwater tanks. I don't keep them. I'd love to have saltwater tank, at least one of them. Love you don't get prettier fish. But you talk about expensive. Them corals alone are insane. The fish are crazy priced. And then you have to have them brute garbage cans of salt water mixed up, ready to go for top offs and water changes, right? So you're buying 5-gallon buckets and bags of salt on head. Just no thanks. Fresh water is expensive enough. Yeah, I def feed dry mysis. Need to make some BBS. It's been a while. Cool, bunny. Okay, Selkin is a brand of vitamin like Vitachem. Okay. Central Garden and Pet is another large distributor. They have Aqueon, Core Life. Hey, speaking of Aqueon, let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Their filters, their quiet whisper filters. What an awesome filter. I've had them for years. They're super quiet. They don't die. And they are quiet. The only downfall of their filters, you don't have a lot of room to play with things in there as far as media goes, but you really don't need to, because that little plastic piece that goes in right before it flows out, all that harbors good bacteria. And what's awesome about them is you don't have to prime them. You lose power, they're going to fire right back up. So Aqueon filters are one of the best filters, in my opinion, out there. Their lights are cool, touch on and off, but I don't like them because you can't dim them down. It's on or off. That's it. And they do tend to cause me algae issues. I would have to have that to use that light on, say, a 75-gallon tank. I would have to only run that thing for like 5 hours a day and turn it off. That's the only way that tank doesn't create too much algae in my tank. They're that light. Thanks for sharing that, Laura. Marine fish are difficult as heck. Corals are easier, at least for me. Yeah, I don't know about the salt. I'd love a golden dojo look next time I have. Next time Bunny has a girlfriend, she would like to have a gold. That's what it says. Look, I have a golden dojo next time I have girlfriend. What I really want is a black ghost knife. Okay. Golden dojo loaches are fun. It's not all expensive, but it can definitely get there. Sure. Thanks, Laura. Yes, it's right. NLA, what are you? And Heather comes in sharing his link to Fishco. Very cool. You're welcome. Tech isn't really my thing. Took me a bit. Oh, that's okay, Laura. It's easy. You just go to their channel, and then to their about info down below, you can just copy that link. You figured it out. So now I'm at the bottom of the chat, and Bunny's getting ready to say, I didn't mean girlfriend, to her text back there. I'm going to grab some of these Chemicure products they sent with me and show you what I got. Don't go anywhere. So we're going to start off what I put in the Mbuna tank, and that is Chemipure Blue. Okay. Already, from what I see in this stuff, it's already better than Purigen. And I'm not just saying that because I didn't see results in Purigen, because I was all for Purigen. But what I see in this is an all-in-one filter media. So you get more than just the resin that Purigen makes. This has a mix of carbon and resins that they use together. So that's why they call it all-in-one. The Chemipure Blue is more for Atkins, is more for, you're going to be for your reef and marines. But you can use this in high pH tanks like my African cichlid tank. That's really only, I could be wrong, but that's the only other thing in freshwater that you can use this for is high pH tanks, African cichlids, and any other fish that needs a higher pH. Other than that, the blue is for marine only. In my video, I just put a bag of this in my cichlid tank. I monitor the nitrates because this will break down organic waste like Purigen. And this does reduce ammonia nitrate as well. And it does a slew of other things. I'm going to explain all that in my video. We're not going to get into depth here on the live stream. So yeah, I started off with Chemipure Blue in my African cichlid tank. And then most of you, if you're interested in trying this stuff, the Chemipure Green is going to be what you're after, because I think most of us on the freshwater side has the planted tanks, and that's what this is for. That's why it is green, because it is for freshwater aquariums with plants. It does not remove phosphates. It's premium activated carbon with a high-grade ion exchange resin. These are the mixes that they have that I'm seeing that's going across the board. I have yet to, and I'm not complaining. It would have been nice if they sent me a larger one of these. This small container is 5.5 ounces, and it's good up for 30 to 35 gallons. These larger containers are 11 ounces. They're good for 75 gallons. So if I was going to be purchasing this stuff, I would always have to get these larger 11-ounce bottles. But they do sell a grande version. I'm not sure what size theirs are. They sent me these cool pamphlets, too, that explain everything. And everybody always knows the Chemipure here, their original formula. So now they have, and of course, they got the Chemipure Elite. It's basically the original Chemipure, but this also gives you an additional, what is it? What did they say? It has, God, I can't remember. I'll get to it in my video. They added something into it, makes it a little better. But so this is the Chemipure Elite that sent me that. So I'll be trying that out. And then they sent me these bags. It's Chemipure Nano. Obviously, it's just smaller. It's the same thing as what I showed you, but they're smaller. For smaller filters and like this thing, smaller tanks, which I can definitely use because I've got 1, 2, 3 smaller tanks running. And of course, the Chemipure Green Nano. Superior filtration for freshwater and planted aquariums, all-in-one fertilizer media and one pre-measured pack. One cool thing about this stuff is the carbon that they use is harder, and it has more surface area on it, and it has way low ash. And I've already been doing this in my video that I started. They say it only takes a few seconds to rinse it off, and all that carbon dust comes off. Let me tell you guys, so far, so good and true. So my first test with Chemicure SoFlora is being true. It's not a marketing scheme. Few seconds, the black dust from the carbon is gone. And you want to make sure you rinse carbon off carbon or any chemical filtration, because I always thought, it's just dusty and it just makes the tank dirty, although that is true. Too much dust particles from carbon can cause hole in the head in your African cichlids, and you don't want it. So I'm pretty sure that's why they started this quick wash, what they call quick wash on their carbon, and it does work. Few seconds, no more carbon dust. So yeah, I was excited to get these, and I've already started the video, so keep an eye out for that video. I know a lot of us you guys aren't into chemical filtration. I've had this conversation in the past with you. But I'm all about trying things to become a more well-rounded fish keeper and see if these things truly do make a difference in my tanks. Because you can't do the father fish tank in a 125-gallon Oscar tank or a 75-gallon Mbuna tank because they are always messing that sand up. Where did I leave off? Oh, Laura, man, she's great with the stop sign. So good. Thank you. Could you cycle a tank with Seachem Prime and stability? Could you cycle a tank with Seachem Prime and stability? Yeah, man, I've done it. I have cycled a couple tanks using stability. It's good bacteria in a bottle. It does work. But in my opinion, that's something you're going to want to do as a secondary way to cycle a tank. By far, the first way to cycle a tank is to use established media, even some sand from your substrate, put it in your new tank, and it's going to insta-cycle it a lot more naturally and quicker. It does take over 7 days to, I can't say that. I've monitored this, and I think I don't know if I ever made a video on it, but I have had stability cycle one of my aquariums in less than a week. But sometimes if you're starting from scratch, it does take that full 7 days. But it does work. I've done it. But my favorite way is just use established media or some sand from a substrate and a tank that's been running for a while. You put it in there, you can add fish same day. Now, let's not confuse that. When you're talking about a cycled weak tank to a cycled strong tank, you can insta-cycle a tank right now, but that doesn't mean you can overload it with fish. You got it. Your good bacteria, your biofilter is like a rubber band. It expands and contracts to the size of the load. So if you put too much in one time, the rubber band's going to snap, right? Just slowly add them fish in. Yeah, Alice, look me up on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook and message me. That's what I've been telling people, and I can get that for you. Hey, Mad Max, thanks for coming in, buddy. Mad Max, Jorg, that's Mad Max. Good morning. Get caught up. Hey, QC, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Hola, I speak Mad Max. I can speak Mexican too. Listen. How did I put that? Pseudotrophius Doritos Tacos. Good morning, Fish Yon. Good to see you, my friend. How are you this morning? What are you up to? I bought the blue and green. Sounds like I may not need the blue with my water. I bought them for a 180 while back stocking up. May have gotten overexcited. Yeah, Bunny, the blue's just, like I said, it's just for your marine and high pH tanks like African cichlids. You're probably going to want the green. Or you can do the original formula or the elite too. Could you cycle a tank with Seachem? I answered that one, sir. Jesse, back to your question. I really like your Serenity stream. Okay, Bunny, thank you. And, you got people like Bunny and Mark Sturlson who take the time. And I was just having this conversation with my wife the night I had that stream, Thursday night. I said, Bunny and Mark, I see them in a lot of like Blizzle. We're out there doing a second live stream to help get our watch time hours up. And at the same time, truly, maybe in my case, wanting to relax people after a hard day of work or whatever. Maybe you had a bad day. But you guys consistently take the time to go into these streams and you stay there the entire time. That speaks volumes for you guys. I can't thank you guys enough that you did that. You did it for me. And I want to thank you very much for that. Just want to poke man and say hi. I got to run some errands. Okay, QC. Appreciate you. Eduardo just working a lot and tired. QC got called back into work 3 a.m. Same here. Dan says, can you DM me the name of that food brand? Which one? Are you talking about Northfin Foods, Dan? Definitely. I tried to message you on Instagram so many times. LH, I'm probably going to delete Instagram. I don't like it. I don't like the platform. I started it up again just to put some I was hoping to use it to attract more people to my YouTube channel and my TikTok channel, but I apologize for that, man. I'm going to delete that Instagram. I don't like it. Nano, yeah. It makes sense, right? Everyone thinks, oh, you got a good bacteria buildup. Let's throw some fish in. No, you have to give that bacteria a chance to, and it's about 2 weeks. You need to add some fish, wait a couple of weeks, add some more fish. You got to give that bacteria time to expand to the load and get stronger. If you overload it, it's going to crash. Yeah. Zoetrophus Doritos tacos. Unfortunately for me, FB is the devil and I won't use it. I like Facebook, Bunny. I don't have a problem with it. I never got on Facebook at all until I started my YouTube channel. And again, I'm using it to help promote each other, gain more subscribers, gain more visibility. If you want to climb in social media, you've got to be willing to go above and beyond what you're comfortable with. You got to post things that you must, on platforms you might not want to. If you really want to like expand quicker, you need to do it. I appreciate it. Dropping again. Nice seeing you, man. Glad to support. Nice seeing you, Dan. Appreciate you. I'll definitely get that Northfin food. I can send you Northfin's contact. Darius, good guy, great guy. And somebody else wanted it. Who was it? I got a message. Who else wanted the Northfin food contact? Allison. I think I was right. Did I say that right? Allison? Ian, Mexican speaking. Okay, hola tacos. Did I do it right? Northfin, yes. Okay, buddy, I got you. I used Facebook for the family and friends from high school. Yeah, it's a cool way to keep in touch with everybody. I put my videos on there too periodically. It gets lots of views. Like I got Dan in here over there. If I wasn't hooked up with Facebook and streaming to both, Dan wouldn't have been able to come in here, or because he's most likely on Facebook. That's what you got to consider. Some people favor these platforms than others. Facebook is still the leading social media platform to use. So yeah, I'm going to intertwine these so I can get more visibility. Hey, Happy Place. Good to see you, buddy. I commented on your video this morning. That sucks that you're having trouble with that tank. At this point, I'm wondering if you need to take those fish, put them in a QT tank, shut that tank down, empty it out, do a 50% bleach water mix, clean, scrub, and then rinse really well. Rinse like you've never rinsed before, and then let it dry. That's the key. After you use bleach, you want to let that surface dry until it's bone dry, because when bleach is dry, it breaks down to nothing. Then give it like one more rinse out, and you'll be good to go. But that's going to kill anything that might be in that tank. Get new substrate, everything, and start over. It seems like that's what you're going to have to do. I mean, anyone that dumps a half a carton of the big carton of API salt in there has been through the meds, have done the water changes, something's going on. And it's got to be coming from one of them fish. Unless you have a dead fish in there somewhere that you can't find, which you'd be surprised what dead fish get into the little holes, causing ammonia and causing disease, you got something going on. Jesse, do me a favor. Send me your mailing address and a reminder. And as soon as I can afford it, I'll mail you the blue ChemiPure free of charge. Benny, you don't have to do that. You really don't. You really don't have to do that. That's a really nice offer. And if you don't have to send that to me. You don't have to. Hello, Jim. Hello, Jim. I'm good, buddy. How are you today? Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I put Reels on there also. Reels, yeah. And that's one thing I did like about Instagram. You can do it TikTok too, but with Instagram, it's a little easier. Like you can just upload it and it goes to Facebook at the same time. I got you, Happy Place. We text, me and Jim here, we text so I can easily get that to him. Now, I don't know how willing the guy is going if he gets 3 or 4 people blasting him with it. I mean, I'm sure he's used to it, but I originally contacted them and got the food. Then I told Patty's Aquatics about it. Patty's contacted him. They sent him the food. Then Mike Loves Life got a hold of me. He said, "Hey, can I get that info?" I gave him that info. They sent him some of it. So that was 4 people right there, including myself. You guys give it a try for sure. Their food is fantastic. But yes, I know otherwise it will just hit the trash. I'd much rather share it with my buddy. All right, Bunny. I'll definitely do that. I appreciate that. But yeah, no rush. I'll use it. I'll put it to the test for sure. I like putting products to the test and reviewing things. I wish I could get more of it to review from these companies because I just really enjoy it. I mean, I'm very translucent. I love getting free stuff and I love trying things out. Especially if you can try it out, see if you like it, see if it works before you buy it with your own money. I don't think that's being rude or ignorant. I think that's just being efficient and smart. If you can get it for free first to make sure you like it, and if it works, why not? You can smell it when there's a dead fish in the tank. Not always. I've had dead fish in my tank and didn't know it. I had ammonia in a goldfish tank, and for God's sakes, I couldn't get the ammonia out no matter what I did. I had gravel in there at the time, and I'm gravel back and changing the water. Ammonia's still high. What is going on? Finally, I just got irritated, and I just took my dang hand, and I just put it through the gravel, and there it was, a dead fish that I could not find, but I didn't smell it. Hey, Big Steve, good to see you. Paul, I have no smell of death in my tank. I have tried everything in the meds in the world. I just think the fish are just old. Maybe, yeah, sounds right, Jim. I think you just need to, like you said originally, pull everything out, got that tank, clean it. Bottom of the chat, bottom of the chat, bottom of the chat, bottom of the chat. So look forward to that video coming out. I'm going to be doing that review on the ChemiPures. It is going to take longer because I have to actually give this stuff time to work. I'm curious to how long. Now, I actually need your thoughts on this. So I put a pouch from the bigger ChemiPure blue container that's said to be good for 75 gallons. Okay. I have a 75-gallon cichlid tank. Now, keep in mind, there's not actually 75 gallons of volume of water in that tank because when these marketers sell their tanks, they get the outside dimensions. They're not actually getting the inside dimensions of these tanks. So you lose about 3 to 4 gallons off the marketing site right off. Then you add your substrate. This thing's packed with Texas Holy Rock. Your inlets, there's a heater in there, there's a power head. Anything else that takes up space reduces that water volume. So I think I have maybe about 60 gallons of water in that tank in a 75-gallon tank with a 75-gallon packet worth of ChemiPure. Do you think I should add the second one, given I have a crap ton of Mbunas in there and a high stocking load? Let me know your thoughts. 1 or 2 packs for that tank. Because I can add the other one. Hi, babe. The wife's up getting some coffee. I think she said something about making me one and bringing it to me or something. I don't know. I thought I heard that. Come on, give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on that ChemiPure in that tank. 1 or 2 packets. Hey, Aquafunk's wife brought him coffee on his live stream. Yeah. I have never used it, but I would read the instructions on the packaging. Yeah, Jim, I did. With one of the 75-gallon worth packages I put on there, according to that package, it's enough for the actual water volume I have. But what makes the difference is the stocking that I have in there. There's a lot of fish in there, and they even tell you need to take that into consideration. And this is all stuff I'll be talking about in my video. I don't want to go too in depth now, but we're going to touch on the specifics of each one and how it worked. And I can't put these videos out until I actually have been using it for a little bit. But right off, I am going to tell you, I do like ChemiPure and what they're selling more than Purigen. Purigen just does not work for me and my tanks. Just said he was making his wife super tonight. Jesse said he was making his wife super tonight. Super in the night. What do you even mean? Jesse said he was making his wife super. So, you mean supper? I say supper. I don't. Okay, there you go. I don't. Hey, Laura, I just cooked last night. I cooked last night. We ordered, or no, that wasn't last night. The night before, I cooked. What did we eat? Oh, I cooked Panera bread. I cooked a couple nights ago, so I cooked Panera bread. Slaved for hours over the stove. Laser would use the second packet. The chemical will speed up the water change and last longer. The chemical will speed up the water change and last longer. Okay. And another thing about chemical that I'm talking about that laser is their carbon lasts longer than your traditional carbons. I'll add the second one in for. I think I'll do that. Thanks, laser. Huh? Well, it was last night I cooked Panera bread. So, Laura, I do cook. Thanks, babe. Let me check this out. Don't go anywhere. This is subpar. This doesn't work for me. You need to do it again. Do it again. Yeah. Thanks, babe. On your butt? What outfit? Cat pissed on my wife's clothes. Oh, no. You think it'll ruin it? All right, I got a funny one for you, fellas and women, ladies and men and lady, women and shit. Gentlemen, how do you say that? Women, ladies and gentlemen. My cat decided he was going to pee on my wife's clothes. Can anybody guess the shirt that the cat peed on? It's kind of funny. Can you? Bunny says, "Can you say dead cat?" First murder on a live stream. I've used Chemipure before, and I now use phosphate removers. Yeah, laser, and I think what is the Chemipure Blue removes phosphates, and maybe the Elite. Cats are little demons, man. I love my cats, but they are temperamental. Yeah, but you're never gonna believe what shirt the cat peed on. It's kind of funny. You want to know? You want me to tell you? No, sir. I don't have a Northfin shirt, but I wish I did. But you're in line. It is an aquarium company shirt. It's actually a nice shirt. I think they make nice shirts. Actually, if one of my videos I put out on Valentine's Day, you can see the back of my wife on it. She's wearing it. Yep, Nano got it. Aquarium Co-op shirt. I don't know why we just up and pee on a dang shirt. But it was the Aquarium Co-op shirt. You got it in the washing machine? Well, okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go down by the creek and get a washboard and do it by hand. Don't take the decals off. Yes, Laura. Corey won't send you nothing. The only I kind of complained about, not really complained, but more like I was trying to. So I contacted Aquarium Co-op and I said, hey, like they were part of one of them 30 companies I was talking about. I said, hey, would you be willing to send me some of your products? Doesn't have to be anything expensive. Just throw me something. I'd love to review it. And Candy over there is their customer service rep. And by the way, Candy's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic at what she does. I don't have any complaints here. But the one thing she said that kind of, I guess, rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, which caused my response to her, was she went right away into, and I think it was a learning experience for her, but she right away went into, well, Aquarium Co-op's not really looking for any partnerships. And if they do, set by Corey himself, you've got to have channel size, you've got to have certain watch time hours, blah, blah, blah. She went into, basically, if you're not a huge channel, they won't look at you. I already knew going into this, it was a shot in the dark. She didn't have to say it that way. So my response was, hey, look, I kind of figured this was a shot in the dark. I was just looking for something small that you guys might be. I wasn't looking for a partnership, but I said in the future, maybe instead of jumping right into a salesman aspect or mentality about it, worrying about channel size and blah, blah, and all this, Aquarium Co-op started from down here and they got to where they are. And I would think he would share that mentality and not being, I'm not saying you can't give your product away to everybody. You'll go broke. It's business. The guy's in it trying to make money. I 100% understand that. But instead of responding the way she did, she could have responded with, hey, they're not really wanting anything like that. And, and ended it. But she had to go into, you got to have all this, this, and this. So I said, kind of complained a little bit. And I said, why not? Understand I'm not looking for a partnership. I was just looking to review some of your products. Okay. But right away, you had to jump into, you got to have this, 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 and this, and set forth by Corey. I said, you could have skipped all that and just said yay or nay. But she decided to go into, you got to have this huge watching, you got to have this huge channel. They're basically, they won't even freaking think about you, which I figured was going to be the case, which in my opinion, I understand, but throw me a heater, something. When you got fish keepers like myself and a lot of us on here who truly are into the hobby and they want to review a product, what's wrong with throwing them something, one small thing? Throw me some of your multi-test strips. They're $10. Something like that. That was my thought behind the whole thing. And so after I complained a little bit about it, they did send me, I got it up on the wall over here. You can see the grocery like chopping bag. They gave me the towel, that shirt, and a hat. And so I got some cool merch out of it. But again, I don't mean to sound like I'm ungrateful or I'm trying to be like, oh, gimme free. That's not how business works. You make products to sell it to make money, and that's how things keep going. I was just asking for something small, but they are one company that won't send you anything unless you're a big channel. I heard you didn't get food from them, and I was like, I got you. That's funny, And I think Jim had some similar, these big channels. It's hard to reply to everybody. They got thousands of people, sometimes a million people commenting and getting to them. It's hard to get every comment, but I know Jim had some trouble with. He messaged him through Facebook, and Corey couldn't even give him one reply. I got the auto reply. You got it, buddy. They probably get that request 100 times a day, but they've definitely lost their lot. Yeah, exactly, Big Steve. That's exactly what I mean. These guys get the same with Fluval. Thousands upon emails a day asking for the same stuff. You can't please everybody. I get it. But they have lost their roots. Corey spends more time overseas and going to Germany and going to Peru. And, I did my fish video on him. I did my critique on him. And, you can see that there. Steve, he got the cut and paste reply. Exactly, Laser. Yeah, when I ask these companies, I'm not expecting the world. That's why I was blown away with Northfin to send me they sent me pretty much their entire line of food in large and small packets. I was not expecting that. Cobalt sent me a heater, an Aquamat that I absolutely love. You can see that review on my channel. They sent me a couple different foods. I was not expecting all that. Mike Love Life Aquatics right now keeps getting stuff, I think monthly, from Aquatop. He's getting lights, power heads, very cool. And that's kind of like where I want to get. Patty's. Me and Patty's Aquatics was talking the other day. He got his first member. And guess who it is? Anybody that watches Patty's Aquatics knows he's all about the natural dirted sand cap tanks, filterless. He got his first member. Can you guess who it is? I canceled my membership. I got so tired of everything revolving around that light. Yeah, Big Steve, exactly. It was the heaters. And then because the heaters failed, we got rid of it. And I mentioned that in my video. You know, for sure, it's your live stream. You're going to promote your business a little bit, right? Definitely talk about your products, but stop pushing them so hard. That's why you have advertisements. That's why you have a whole team and videos you can do that with. It's all right off for them anyway. Exactly. Everything gets written off. It's not like they're going to be out thousands of dollars by throwing me a bone, right? And I had memberships to some people. And that's going to be a topic of one of my streams or one of my videos coming soon. But I've got to be careful with how I deliver that one because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to make anybody mad. And I want it to my intentions to come clear and concise when I talk about memberships and paying some of these channels monthly. Because in my opinion and experience so far, it's not worth it for what you get. You can be a Patreon member, you can be a membership, you can be a mod, you can comment on all the videos and lives and everything they put out and help and share links. And sometimes all that work that you put in week after week ain't worth it. So I canceled my membership too. I'm Big Steve. I'm just thinking to myself, why am I paying to help other people that are larger than me and already made it when I could be helping myself? So that's the kind of mentality I adopted, and I reverted back into my channel, my videos, my stream. Let's help myself a little bit first here, and then we'll help others going forward. If there's value involved, I don't mind helping somebody out just to support them. I don't always expect to get something back either. That's not what I'm talking about. But in certain cases, when you do a lot for somebody and you don't get hardly anything in return, it ain't worth it. I'm going to put that money back into myself. I was actually contemplating buying their light one day for a terrarium. You can't even find the lumen rating. You can't even compare it to other lights. Yeah, Big Steve, when Benochart got all their lights and put it on all his tanks, others said the same thing I did. You could clearly see it had looked more yellow. And I don't like that. I don't like that yellow light. I don't think Depths is real impressed with their light either. Northfin sponsors the Canadian Aquatic Pet Expo. They sent an unbelievable free product by the case, all their product line. Yeah, Laser, man. As time goes on, I'm finding Northfin Foods is not only a high-quality food and a great company, they have a high-quality mentality as well. To send me all that free stuff, at the time, I think I only had like 700 or 800 subscribers. They sent me all that food, and then to keep coming back and educating me about it, that's invaluable. You can't put a price tag on that price tag. So I'm a big Northfin fan now. I may slowly just phase out Extreme just because I'm learning more and more about their foods as time goes on. I won't 100% get Extreme because there's too many foods out there. Like I love their nano version and I love their big fella pellets. And I also love what I do here. Check this out. I love Extreme Aquatics Community Crave, and I love their SoFly flake foods. And what I do is I mix all those together. So I've got Community Crave, which gets you the krill flake and the spirulina flake. So that's two high-quality ingredients right there. And then I mix in together their SoFly flake, which is your black fly soldier larvae. Boom, all in one container. You can feed all the fish. So their flake foods, that's my flake food. I have some Northfin flake foods down here. Same thing. Kelp. See, they got some stuff Extreme don't make. They got kelp flakes, kelp wafers. They do the krill, and they have a cichlid flake, and I mix those together. I'm just trying to figure out which one I like better. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, definitely. So do you have one, Greg? He says the light's way too expensive with the lack of features it has. I'll tell you my favorite light. Excuse me, guys. My favorite light is the Fluval Aqua Sky. Too many features. What a fantastic light. Hey, Tucker. Tucker's Species TV. I'm still here, guy watching Salient. Cool, Tucker. Thanks for the mention again. And more on light, the Fluval 3.0 was $225. There was $150. Fluvals have a ton more features. If you're going to make your light to be the better value, it's got to offer similar features for less money. Exactly. And if you're not willing to do that, exactly what you're saying. So let's take the Aqueon light. It's a very simple setup. It's on, off, blue light, on, off, and it's touch, right? Very simple. Not a lot of features, no programming. The only thing that you could do, I don't know if you could like add in like a dimmer / timer thing onto that light, but the only thing that you can do for cheap, because those lights are fairly reasonably priced, is go to Lowe's, get one of them timers on it so it'll turn itself on and off. But again, it's bam, bam. I did a video on this not long ago about turning lights on suddenly and off suddenly, because it was about, do fish see well? Do they see light well? Well, in my experience, they do. Them fish know when that light comes on and when it turns off because they jump. Boom. I've had my Oscars freak out because of that. So now I have lights that mimic the sunrise and sunset like the Fluval Aqua Sky offers. There's a lot of other ones. Phoenix makes a good light with that, does this. But the Phoenix still has limited features. But I love the Aqua Sky lights because you can adjust that sunrise, sunset, how bright, the different color spectrums. You can link up to, I feel like it's like 25 or 50 lights to one app. I love the Aqua Skies, but they are pricey. Obviously, less features, less cost. Oh, you mean the Kia is cheaper than the BMW? You don't say. No, Big Steve, I enjoy it, man. This is what I like about the streams, the interaction, talking. In my streams, feel free to say what you want. In my racing, obviously, we don't want to get belligerent. I like to get belligerent too, but we can't. You do not have one? Okay. Yeah, but you read up on them and you did your research on it. I love Northfin. It really made a difference on my Mbuna tank. They're full of life and color. Heck yeah, price tag. Heck yeah. It's good stuff. Northfin sent an amazing donation package to our aquarium. So here's another testament. I said it. Everyone's saying it. They're truly great people over there. I just changed the name to honor my mom, the late Marion Tucker Salient, formerly known as Species Center. Okay, I'll remember that going forward. And it's nice that you did that. Very cool. You want me to call you Tuckers or do you want me to call you Species? 30 pounds. Yeah, I'm liking my Northfin foods for sure. It sounds like all you are too. And I think Northfin's food is a food that you could be your only food because it has all the nutrients, everything you need in one food. So do you really need to vary your fish's diet if you're using foods such as Northfin that covers all them bases? I still think you want to vary it a little bit. Even if you made Northfin your staple food and let's say you wanted to try something different to break it up, you could go to your local Walmart and get Flukers. And they got a high quality granule there that you could throw in every once in a while. Or Omega 1. So Laser likes the Krill Gold for spot fitting. Drops right to the bottom. The best product in my opinion. Yeah, Laser. I just ordered the Gold Krill to mix in with Northfin Premium for my Haps and Peacocks. Very cool. Yeah, you guys are like me. Like, I don't know if you're all like me, but I like said I like to mix my foods. Like, if I could, I would take every bit of these foods and mix them together on one big container and go around just pop to make it easier. But unfortunately, I don't. There's some of them foods I don't think I want to give my mbunas and my goldfish, right? So I have to separate them a little bit. So I have like an awesome veggie mix, and then I have a cichlid mix, and then just like a flake mix. And then, of course, I've got a mix of the Fluker's FinSec food. I got some Omega 1s in here. Actually, if you guys look up Hikari Foods, it is not on the level of your Northfins and your Extreme Foods. I did a lot of research on foods, and I found out Hikari, and you don't even have to watch research videos. All you have to do is look at the ingredients, comparing them, and you'll see that they're not on the level of Northfin and Extreme. We sent out about 225 donation requests. I'm paying very close attention to who does and who doesn't donate. I get it if you can't, but the ones that don't even reply won't get my hard-earned money. Exactly, Big Steve. Exactly. Which is why I've stopped buying Omega 1 foods. It is a double-edged sword type of thing. I'm not going to say I'm going to stop buying their products. I mean, it's like Aquarium Co-op makes some awesome products. Their multi-test strips, those things are unbeatable, man. They're every bit as accurate as the API Liquid Master Test Kit. I did a video on that, and it's just so much quicker. I can go around and test all these tanks in 5 minutes. You cannot beat that value. I may move after talking to KJE Aquatics. I think I'm just about done with their Easy Green. All Easy Green is Thrive. It's just got Aquarium Co-op's label on it, and they changed the recipe up a little bit. According to KJ Aquatics, Thrive's a lot better. It's a little bit more stronger. It has a little bit more oomph. So I think once I run out of that, I'd like to try. I'm going to get on KJE's website and order some of that Thrive so I can try it. It doesn't matter. Tucker is okay or species, but you can call me Tucker also. You know my real name is Melvin. Okay. You want Melvin? Yeah, that's a pretty good analysis, Big Steve. That's a pretty good comparison. I like how you said that. It's just a fancy Tetra Flake. Co-op donated, and we were very appreciative. Oh yeah, absolutely. And they will help people. They've helped people, and I get that they don't want to freaking throw me. If they helped everybody out that asked for it, they'd go broke. I get it. You can't do that. But I like Corey. I love the attention to detail that he puts in his product. He's truly over there trying to make his products quality. He doesn't want to sell junk, so kudos to him for that. He's got a lot of good qualities. I just think he's become more of a salesman than he has a fish keeper. But I guess, too, when you've been keeping fish as long as him, you kind of get sick of it at times. So the trips are an awesome way for him to kind of get away from that, reset himself. So who am I to judge? I don't know him. I don't know his life. I just know what I've experienced over the last couple of years. The same with the DIY King, which is another thing I wanted to ask you guys, what you guys thought about my video where I rated the top 6 in my top 6 fish keeping channels. I did get a lot of good comments on it. Hey, Vanoski. Thanks for getting in, buddy. We're probably going to go for another 20 minutes or so. I'm enjoying talking with you guys. Whoops. Sorry. Don't mind me. Some of the food that Northfin sent me was their flake foods as well. And in here, I've got the cichlid flakes and the krill flakes. Smells good. These are perfect for my blood parrots because, like I was saying earlier, because of those misshapen mouths, I have to have a bigger flake and shove it down in the water so they can come up to it and get it sucked in. They don't do really good with pellets. And then I got my beta mix here. And what this is North Finn's beta mixed with Fluker's is beta food. And I think there's like a third one in here. I just mixed them all together, all high quality foods. And the betas love them. And it's really plumped that female beta up down there I have in my 10-gallon. She's colorful. She's got a lot bigger. Extreme Nano. That's one of my go-tos. I love Extreme Nano, which is basically a fry food too. It's just not as small as the fry foods. They're pretty much like a powder. I got a question for you guys. Yeah, get caught up chatting. I'm going to ask you guys something about it. I'm going to ask a question about a Tetra food. Let's see, where did I stop? I lost my Laura. All right. All right. Tucker it is, Tucker. Steve, I'm worried about doing that. The doctors put me on a new med that have made my hands very shaky. I didn't mean to block your text. Oh, that's okay, buddy. We'll get it figured out. Sorry that you have shaky hands. Do you get Tropical brand fish foods in the U.S.? Yellow Label, a new food I am trying, uses red peppers for red coloring enhancements and vitamin C. Yeah, Laser. I've noticed in some of these foods, they use like if you go, Hikari sells one for blood parrots. It's called Blood Parrot Plus or something like that. They use is it cayenne peppers in it or something? But yeah, I've seen the Tropical brand fish foods. But I get to tapping on my phone and get stuff almost removed. It's probably going to happen. Muskie, what can y'all suggest for a nice wafer for Corys and Plecos? Bunny, in my experience, I've got, and because wafers are just not for bottom feeders. Your fish will eat them too, which is why I like Extreme Aquatics' cat scrapers. But I have a mix. In here is all my wafers. I put them together. I have Cobalt's algae grazers in here, North Finn's kelp wafers, and Tetra algae wafers in here. Also is in here is Extreme Aquatics cat scrapers. I mixed them all together. Whatever comes out, and I throw in. Now, I have noticed that my plecos like the cat scrapers, and they like Cobalt's algae grazers. What I like about Cobalt's algae grazers, because, when we throw them in, we're trying to get them at least near the pleco, right? They sink really fast, and you can hit them, boom, every time. So I would suggest Extreme Aquatic scrapers. If you want a lower budget wafer, I would suggest Tetra's actually makes a decent algae wafer, and my fish do like it. But I guess I would try, if you haven't tried it yet, I would go with Cobalt's algae grazers. You can get them most anywhere. They're dense, they're heavy, they sink fast, and they're large. Oh, good, Laura. I was just messing with you. Causing trouble. Laura thinks I've been having people remove my wrench the other day. I accidentally blocked someone for a whole night because I had a seizure. She was pissed and then nothing good. Yeah, geez, Bunny. That's you know what, Bunny. In that case, it's impossible for them to understand what happened. All you can do is explain later. The last thing you need to worry about is moderation mistakes on YouTube. Don't even worry about it. Brush it off. It happens. For God's sakes, that's the last thing you need to worry about. And if they can't understand that after you're able to explain it, that's on them. maybe they don't need to be so sensitive about a digital color blue wrench. Spreading the trouble love. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I hope you get better and the meds work out. Buddy, what are you sorry for? You're awesome. That's right, Big Steve. I don't see Tropical around much anymore. Many stores carried that brand pre-COVID. Yeah, I don't see them in the stores, but I see them online. Deep, thank you, honey. Pea Puffer love. Gabriel, what do you feed your pea puff? Now that I'm at the bottom of the chat, I want to ask you guys. I'm going to hold this up, and I want to see if anybody can tell me what it is. You ready? You ready? I'm going to hold this up. Do you know who makes it? Well, I kind of said that, but do you know what it is? What is it? Thanks for the stop sign, Laura. Hey, Mike B. What up, my guy? Let's see. It's not a Cheeto. I assure you, I ate one. It was terrible. Cheeto. It tasted a bit like shit. It wasn't good. Anybody know what it is? Don't be Googling it. Nope. It is not a sesame stick. Excuse me. Dang. Oh, also, if you guys are looking for a cheap container to mix a lot of food in one container to make feeding your fish easier, you have a lot of tanks. See this here? White vinegar bottle. Rinse it out real well. Let it dry out. I still smell maybe a little vinegar coming out of it. If I can get that vinegar smell out of there, I'll let you know. It's not real bad, but this would be a fantastic container for mixing a bunch of food in. It even has measurement marks on it. Does it? But I saw them. No, I lied. But it's got a pop. Quick pop. Just put it up. Throw it in your tank. It's something I was keeping on. I'll let that open. Anybody know what that food was I held up? Okay, I'm going to tell you what it is. No one's guessing except for a couple people. It's the cichlid sticks from Tetra, and I wanted to see how they be. It's a cheaper end food, but I like to vary the diets, and try things, and they absolutely freaking love them. Let me tell you that. The Oscars, the Dempsey, they love them. Yeah, Mike, that's the point, man. I'm glad you like it. I try to do something different. I try to add some humor at the beginning. Kind of keeps people laughing a little bit more enjoyment, and that's the whole point of it. I love making people laugh. I love being an instigator and doing stupid stuff. So I appreciate the feedback on that. Funny enough, I don't hear a lot of feedback on it except for the comment from some people here and there on the video. So I like hearing stuff like that, because maybe if it's dumb and people don't like it, it's something I won't keep doing, but I love to add the humor. Nope. Cichlid sticks from Tetra. They're large. They're like, you saw it, like that long. They absolutely love them. But it's kind of like feeding your fish junk food. I throw it in sometimes. I mix about 5 types of flakes from your fish stuff store in the freezer until needed. Oh, cool. 5 types of flakes. So what are we talking, Allison? Are we talking krill, cichlid, like a kelp or spirulina based flake? I've been trying to get the vinegar smell out of some pickle jar lids. Plastic seal, no luck. Let me know what you figure out. Yeah, Laura, it's tough. It's really tough. I've almost got that one though. She don't know what she's talking about. I'm not an instigator. I lied to myself. Who here keeps puffers? Gabriel, don't you have a Maboo puffer? The big one? Krill, veggie, marine color, earthworm. What's your thoughts on adding black soldier fly to that mix? Me too. I only have peas. No, I don't. I hate peas. Peas, I'll eat anything. I am not picky, but there's a few things I won't eat, and peas are one of them. Peas are a vegetable that was spawned from the devil's loins itself. Hey, Swiffle, what up? Good to see you, my friend. Been a while. Swiffle. Hi, bunny. Hi, bunny. So, yeah, my next video, I'm probably going to be doing a different video before this Chemipure one comes out, just because I need a little bit more time in using it. So my next video, I think I'm going to be discussing driftwood. And then after that, the Chemipure one will probably come out. So look forward to that. I think I need to get on, and you can give me your thoughts on this, guys. I was putting videos out daily, like literally one after the other. I was putting videos out. And I don't think you can put enough content out on your channel. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it, right? The more views and stuff. But I know most people stick to like maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, and then they live stream 1 or 2 times a week. I've been trying to find that good balance for myself. I love doing the live streams at 9 a.m. here. Lots of activity on Saturday mornings. But do you guys think I should put a video out every day or maybe once a week? What do you think on the videos? And then I like to do usually a short every day. Hey, here's an old friend. Hey, Heather, how you doing? You know, ooh, the devil's loins. It's just a teeny fish. No, I mean actual peas, buddy. I hate peas. I like the fish. I hate dang peas. Are you changing your name? Oh, man. Everyone's changing their names today. Thanks, Wiffle. Yeah, look, hit the like button. Hit the like button. It's free. He's got it. Let me see here. Laura says, I got a tissue culture last weekend. Haven't opened it yet. Now it has mold. It's mini hair grass. Are you talking about dwarf hair grass, Laura? Laura, if it's on the roots, to be honest with you, if you're talking about mold, can you just cut it off with a pair of scissors and get rid of it? Hey, that was quick. Swiftwool Aquatics now. I like that. It's shorter and simpler. Yes, to all of it. God, that doesn't help, Mike. Dang it. Are there particular measurements you are going to use to assess the Chemipure? No. I'm going to approach this laser as your average fish keeper. I'm going to put a sack of it in the filter, and I'm going to monitor my nitrates, and I'm going to monitor the cleanliness of the tanks because it is said to break down organic matter, such as uneaten food and poop and things like this, which should, in turn, like Purigen, reduce nitrates, right? I measured my nitrates in that tank before I added that in. I am going to add the other sack, and I'm just going to monitor the nitrates. I just did a water change in this tank Let me check my note. I did a water change in that tank on 2/16 this month. Obviously, 2 February. So I'm going to put the other sack in. I'm going to monitor the nitrates. I'm going to see how nice the tank stays. And that's going to be my assessment as far as ChemiPure, because I already have that experience using Purigen in the same way. And water clarity. If you have some suggestions for something else I can do during this video and review, by far, let me know. Give me some ideas. Peas. Yeah, Heather, I hate freaking peas. Peas are terrible. Peas taste like shit. Cool, Bunny. Yeah, because I just figure most people, if they want to try this stuff, they're not in depth into the hobby and they're not measuring hardness and they don't know which. They just, you know what I mean? There's a ChemiPure out there for different applications. Well, let's say they have a 55-gallon Tiger Barb tank that's heavily planted and they throw ChemiPure Blue in it, and then they're wondering why their plants are dying off. Or they wonder, man, my pH is higher. This stuff, because it maintains a constant pH. That's another thing that ChemiPure Blue does. Their fish start dying off. Well, the first thing they're going to do is say, well, I'll never use ChemiPure again because it killed my fish and my plants. Well, no, you used the wrong one, dummy. So there's a lot of people out there that just grab shit and throw it in the tank and see what happens. They don't pay attention. They don't research. They don't try things. So that's why I'm going to approach it. I have to approach it from the average fish keeper who's just going to grab it and toss it in the aquarium and see what happens. Because unfortunately, the scales are tipped in that direction more than they are like us who are deeper into the hobby and take time to research and measure things. So when the goldfish gets bloated, you got to feed it spawn a devil's loins. You've got it, Nano. You've got it. But you know what, Nano? I've done that, and the peas didn't help at all, but the Epsom salt baths did, in my experience. You asked about making videos every day. I say, yes, I'll try to. I'm not saying it will, but there for a while, I was making videos every day, every other day. And but by doing that, you kind of run out of ideas at times. So I thought maybe I ought to just knock that down to once or twice a week. Plus, I'm not rushed to do it all the time. After a while, I think I might get burnt out on that. But I'm always going to add the humor in. If you can't laugh, why are we on the earth, Mike? You know? If you can't have some fun, what's the point? What do any breeders if Swiffle, what's that say? What do any breeders if bred more than pet store can? You got to reword that. I don't understand what you're saying. What do any breeders if bred more than pet store can take? Fish Club's suggestions. My store will be overstocked soon. So basically what you're saying is they got a bunch of fish that they bred. There's so many, stores can't take them in anymore. And your store is going to be overstocked soon. What can you do with these fish? Are there any clubs available? Does anybody have any suggestions or help for Swiffle here? What he can do with all these extra fish, abundance of fish that he has? Giveaway streams, Swiffle. If you're willing to ship fish, you could do giveaway streams. Give away these fish. You could do that. I would immediately move the parents and give it a break until you can mitigate some of these fish out. I don't know if you live stream much, but I would start with, if you can do it and you can afford it and you want to, I'd give away some fish on the live streams like Dan Fish does. You know, you're right in line with taking them to clubs and stuff like that. If you truly want to get rid of the fish, well, you just said the store can take any more. Drive around to different stores? That's a tough one, man. Cool later. I love split pea soup. You're talking about peas? Ew, yeah, peas. Ugh. Don't think so. So little. I guess I'll try some diluted peroxide and hope for the best. Okay, Laura. Let me know if that works. Yes, shrimping ain't easy. Good to see you. I have used API's AccuClear many times, and what a fantastic product. If you're having algae blooms from setting up a new tank, AccuClear has cleared all my tanks every time I've used it. Never had an issue. I've read up on that, researched on that. Some people said it killed fish, it did this and that. Well, if it killed their fish, it wasn't a problem with the product. That was going to be a problem with the fish keeper and education, because AccuClear works well. As far as verification, I don't like shorts, and I like conversations or longer info videos. Definitely don't burn yourself out. Okay, Laura, thank you. SAE. Hey, SAE. So on Aquabid, there you go. Baking soda might take the smell out. Try that, Laura. Maybe baking soda will take it out. Hey, Tucker and everyone else. Feed off the ones that are not the best of the group to reptile or other fish. Yeah, possible. No issues yet, but we'll be planning ahead. Good, Swiffle. At least you're on top of it. Heather, I think I tried baking soda, but it's been a while ago, though. Hey, guys. Hey, Sweet Acres. Good to see you. Generally speaking, fish clubs are okay to slowly move fish, but will not get what you might want for them. Sweet Acres, Bunny. Yeah, try Aquabid. Maybe try to start your own LLC. That's what I'm going to be trying soon. Oh, cool price tag. Chris Fish, orange, wide open. Wide. Chris. Hi, Chris. Fish, orange, wide eyes. Man, the time flies by fast. Well, very cool, guys. We are over the 2 hour mark. I am going to jump off. I certainly appreciate you guys as always. You're wonderful. You make this super fun. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't do it, just because it would not be fun anymore. I appreciate you guys taking the time to get up in the morning, whether you're already up or you're just waking up, to come in here and chat with me and talk to me about the fish keeping hobby. It wouldn't be the same without you guys, because I'd have nobody to really share it with, right? So I'm going to jump off. I got some things to take care of, and look forward to the Chemifury video review coming out. Look forward to more content and humor in those intros. Let me know what you guys think about them intros. And I know Mike B likes it, but I don't want it to get annoying either. I'll try not to do that, though. I don't think they'll get annoying, because I do something different each time. I think I have breathing water. I put Daniels in my tank, keep them cycled, and they lay eggs and hatch. I think you meant to say breeding water. I'm going to go through these last comments and we're going to jump off. I forgot I had 2 topics going: peroxide for the hair grass and no answers for the vinegar smell. What'd she say? Where the hell? This thing just jumped by itself. I forgot I had 2 topics going: peroxide for the hair grass and no answers for the. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was confused then, Laura. I don't think peroxide is going to take care of your mold issue. I think you're going to have to cut it off. Axolotl, what temp do you keep? Yeah, just got an axolotl. What temperature do y'all keep yours at? It's been hard to keep mine under 65. Yeah, they are cold water, correct? I've never kept an axolotl. Can anybody help shrimping out here a little bit? I believe axolotls are cold water, correct? And there is a DIY chiller. If you don't want to buy one, there's a couple things you can do to help chill your tank down. One, you can get a fan and blow it across the top. That helps cool it down. The other thing is something I wanted to do and I haven't done yet, is make your own chiller for an aquarium, such as a fancy goldfish tank in the summertime here, in my opinion, they're fine. It doesn't hurt them, so I don't need to do it. That's why I haven't done it. But if you wanted to keep the water colder, you get a refrigerator, like one of those small mini fridges, and then you go get you a couple 50-foot or a couple 25-foot coiled garden hoses. You're going to drill 2 holes in the fridge, being sure you don't hit any of the elements or any of the lines inside. You're going to have a pump. You're going to have it in and out. And as that water gets pumped out of your tank, it goes in the mini fridge and it coils around all the hose. The whole time it's inside that mini fridge, it's keeping that water cold. And then it gets pumped back out to the fridge. Boom, DIY chiller, a heck of a lot cheaper than buying one. Breeding water, I do it. Thank you, Laser. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate your badass moderator there, Laura. Have a great day, Salient, and everyone else. I want to stay on just a little bit longer. Maybe you guys can help Shrimping up here with his axolotl question. And Shrimping ain't easy. 60 pounds. 65 should be great. There. So according to Bunny, 60, where your temperature is, it'll be fine. All right, guys. Thank you. Welcome, Shrimping. All right. Next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be back here. And then if it all goes well, I'll continue my Thursday streams too with just relaxing and chatting. So thanks again. You guys are great. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until next video. Bunny says, thank you, NLA, for the vow. She got it 2 days ago. Yeah, Garcia. For sure. Garcia's a good dude. Is he on? If he's on right now, head over to Garcia's. But I don't have to tell you guys. You do that automatically. You're awesome. All right, guys. Check you later.